if you've ever had anesthesia, you wake up and you're like, okay, so when are we starting? And they're like, we're finished. I'm like, that's cool. It's a bright sunny day and I'm looking at my feet and like everybody, I'm seeing people's feet and sandals. I'm seeing belly buttons and I'm seeing collarbones and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's such a nice day. But your body's telling you like, no, don't go out. And then your heart's saying like, let's go do it. And your brain's like, no, please don't. And your wallet's like, no, don't. Little angel on your shoulder's like, yeah, dude, it's like, chill out, don't go. There will be more days. And, little devils on your shoulder is just saying like, just go out. There will be more days and we'll party on those days too. Hopefully we'll be kissing these allergies goodbye. All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, ... Again, my name is Jay. And today, we just turned the air conditioner on for the first time. If you have also, comment below. And let's see, what are we gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about the importance of rest. If you are not getting enough rest, definitely comment below. But first, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel by scrolling down just a little bit and hitting that subscribe button, and like this video, and also leave a comment for me or your fellow commenter down below. All right, let's get started. So yesterday we talked about the 3 Ps, which again, if you don't remember what the 3 Ps are, they are preparation, practice, and patience. The 3 Ps. Those are the 3 things that I feel like are very important. There are many things that are important with regard to getting sober and staying sober, but that is just a nice little formula when you're gonna start approaching sobriety, whether it be for the first time or for the 50th time, of what you need to do. You need to get yourself prepared to become sober. And then while you are in the getting sober process, you will be practicing getting sober. And then you need to be patient with yourself along that journey, because there will be temptation, there will be hiccups, there will be stressful days. There may be a day that you just think that you need a shot or two, or you just think that this event that you're at will just be better, this first date, whatever it is, it'll just be much better if you have some alcohol. And you might find yourself needing to be patient with not only just yourself, but just the people around you, right? Some people, you're gonna have friends around you that are not gonna be the most helpful during your sobriety. People that are gonna be egging you on and telling you to do a shot, to have a beer, to quit being a fill in the blank, right? And peer pressure, it's everywhere, right? It's in between, it's in the commercials, on TV, it's at the movie theater when we're watching, remember movie theaters? I'm acting like we're still going to the movie theaters. But so in the movies that we watch, the temptation is there. It's in the shows that we watch. It's in the commercial break. It's in the magazines that we look at. It's all over the place. And it could definitely be exhausting. So that brings me to today's topic, which is rest. The importance of rest and recharging yourself in your attempt of recovery. So we could maybe call it the 3 R's, but so rest, recharge, recovery, to go along with the 3 Ps, which again are what? Preparation, practice, and patience. All right, speaking of patience, today I was a patient. I was a hospital patient, and that's what I was not planning on doing this episode yet, but I thought it was really important. So you may know from a previous episode, I had some internal complications, and one of the things that will be a future episode is going to be all like the health effects of what alcohol does to the body. So if you're not just subscribed, but make sure that you will have your notifications turned on. So if you want to check real quick, just scroll down and look at that little bell icon, click the little bell icon, and make sure that you have it turned on to all notifications. I don't put a bunch of extra riffraff out there. You'll get notified from me, from my channel, when I put out a new episode. But also too, guess what's gonna happen within the next 24 hours? I am going to finally hit 1,000 subscribers, because this channel's taken off. And God bless you for everything that you've done. For those of you that have been going onto Reddit and posting my link in the sobriety channels, and those of you that have been going onto Facebook and posting into the Facebook sobriety groups, there's a bunch of them. I thank you. People have been telling me that they've been doing that and recruiting their friends and their family member along their sober journey and saying, hey, watch this guy. I really appreciate all of you trying to help this channel grow. And in that, I feel a lot of motivation, I feel a lot of momentum, and I feel a lot of inspiration. And that's something that I know that you're looking for in your journey, and it's something that I'm definitely getting in my journey here with you and I couldn't be happier. I'm very, very grateful. So in addition to the notifications that you'll get for new episodes, what I will finally be able to do once I cross the 1,000 subscriber threshold is I will be able to do live videos. So we'll be able to do live video sessions. I'll be able to go live on YouTube, and I'll be able to see you in the chat window, and you'll be able to say, "Hey Jay, what's up?" And I'll be able to say whatever back. We'll be able to chat. I'll be able to maybe take live questions, and I'm thinking maybe an awesome formula might be if I could do one of those a week. So I don't typically make videos on Saturdays and Sundays, but it'll be just a user community type of thing. And you'll get to see some of your questions and concerns addressed live. And then those videos, I think I'll also have the ability to record those videos and then post them to my channel. And maybe there'll be official episodes, maybe they won't, maybe they'll just be kind of like the weekend live chats, maybe that's what we'll call it. But if you want to give me some feedback, what do you think that the weekend live chat should be called? Should I just call them weekend live chats? We'll see. But I'm not sure that I'm guaranteed that I'll be able to get the live chat feature. I know they don't give it to just everybody. So we'll see. So fingers crossed. If that's something you're interested in, comment below, right? I depend on your feedback for this channel. Whether or not you've never commented before, or if you comment 6 times a video. I love all of the comments. I might not be able to respond to all of them, but you will know that I've read your comment because I will give you at minimum a thumbs up to your comment, and I'll give you one of these. So let's talk a little bit more about rest and recharging for our recovery, and why, speaking about me being a patient, why I decided to do that today. So today I had to go in for it was a endoscopic ultrasound of my pancreas. And then in that earlier episode that I started talking about, I had to go get an MRI of my guts, basically. I had to go get my liver checked out, my pancreas. I had some phantom aches and pains in my stomach. And if you are also dealing with some stuff, I know there's some of you that emailed me and reached out to me, and you are still in my prayers. I still pray for you all every day. Everybody who's asked me to pray for you, I'm still praying for you every day. But if you've been feeling especially as you get older, some people just say when you get older, you just start to get more aches and pains. Your eyesight starts to go, you get arthritis, you get achy joints and knees and elbows and shoulders and all this stuff. And I don't necessarily want to accept that. I go to the gym as often as I can. I didn't go today because I was a patient at a hospital, and I had to get put completely to sleep. I had to, went under and with anesthesia for an hour or whatever, and they had to shove some tubes down my throat and all that. And then I started thinking about the importance of rest and recovery, and I really wanted to, because here's the thing: when we are drinking a lot and we're partying a lot, and we have all this FOMO, we're having the fear of missing out, or we're having feelings of missing out. We want to go out. We want, right now in Cleveland, in beautiful sunny Cleveland, Ohio, it is 75 degrees outside. That's why the air conditioner's on in my house. It's 75 degrees outside. The forecast for the whole day is a sunball. I got to spend my day with my mom. We went for a nice walk, even though the doctor told me not to. The doctor told me to rest, but I sure did after that procedure. But so in the earlier episode, I had to get my guts checked out, and they found 2 lesions on my liver. And so first they did that in a CAT scan. On the CAT scan, on a CT scan, they found 2 lesions on my liver that roughly equal. They're about that big, I think, or maybe that big. They found 2 of those, and then so they're like, well, let's we need to go in there further and see what else is going on, because I was having inconsistencies with my stool and whatever else, phantom aches and pains in my midsection. And then so they thought well, CT scan's pretty good, but what's even better is an MRI. We'll get in detail and see what's going on in there. So miraculously, thank you God, nothing. They saw nothing wrong with anything. They even said that my gallbladder was unremarkable. And so my pancreas looked good. My liver looked good. My liver, instead of having 2 lesions, it only then, in that short period of time, then had 1. So something was going right, and some healing was going on. But my pancreas numbers were a little off. If you're not familiar, your pancreas secretes enzymes to help you digest fats, specifically fat and protein, fiber and all that kind of stuff, but it really concentrates on fat and protein. And if you aren't creating enough of these enzymes from your pancreas, you'll have a harder time keeping weight on digesting your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. Even if you're eating organic, like I am, you have a hard time breaking that food down and using it instead of just passing it through, right? So basically you're just creating really expensive stool if you're taking vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and you're eating all organic like I was. If your pancreas or one of your other organs aren't doing their job properly, right? So you might be saying like, well, what's the chances that I'm gonna have anything wrong with my pancreas? It sounds like a very, very much a you problem, Jay, a very specific problem. And I would say to you, well, hold on, be open-minded. And why I say being open-minded is because two major things that affect the pancreas: alcohol. The main two things, there are three main things, but two things that we do as addicts really affect the pancreas. One's alcohol, the other one is smoking cigarettes. So if you're doing those two things, you are putting an awful lot of strain on your pancreas, and you're helping to create a condition and an environment for your pancreas to not be able to do its job, and it'll cause nutrient deficiencies in your body, internal discomfort, GI discomfort, loose stools, all kinds of stuff like that. Nobody likes to talk about diarrhea, but it's going to cause diarrhea. And you're not going to be a well-oiled machine. Obviously you know that you're not a well-oiled machine if you're drinking and smoking, but also too, a high-fat diet. So you might say like, well, that's probably going to be that for a lot of you, that's what a lot of you are doing that. Comment below if you're eating a lot of fried, greasy foods. You may say like, well, I don't know, I eat like 2 days a week. It's like, well, it's still kind of a lot. If you're eating a lot of breaded, fatty foods, again, this isn't not a diet channel, but I'm giving you a little bit of dietary information. If you're eating anything, but if anything is the cooking method is fryer grease, French fries, chicken fingers, chicken nuggets, anything that you're getting from a fast food place, anything that has high fructose corn syrup, things like that, those are all going to be hard on the pancreas. You're not getting good quality foods, and your pancreas is going to have a hard time secreting those enzymes to break down those foods and a lot of artificial foods to be able to pass through your system and utilize them in a way that's going to be beneficial to you. And it's not going to help aid you in your rest and in your recharging and your recovery, right? So while we're doing ourselves this huge disservice of burning the candles at both ends, maybe we're drinking, maybe we're smoking, maybe we're eating fried, greasy foods in between in our drunken stupors and our drunken states, eating pizza and burgers and fries and milkshakes and whatever else. What are your go-to drunk foods? I know you have them. Go and comment below. What is it? Pizza rolls, Hot Pockets, all the junk, all the shelf-stable stuff that comes in a box and sits in your freezer until it's time to microwave it or throw it in the fryer or whatever it is. Comment below. Let me know what your bad habits were. I was a sucker for all of that stuff, but I also ate really healthy and really well during the day. So I knew that I was fighting a two-way battle, and it was exhausting. It was exhausting to try to eat healthy during the day and try to eat most of my meals healthy. And then at nighttime, just blowing it all away with alcohol and with shitty foods and with smoking cigarettes and making other poor decisions that were like really weakening my body. And I feel really grateful that when I went to the hospital today, that I didn't get a worse prognosis. And you might be curious, like, well, what did they say? What happened? So what they did was they shoved a tube down my throat and a camera, so they could check out the inside of my stomach and my pancreas, and they did an ultrasound. So they wanted to see what was going on because, like I said earlier, my pancreas wasn't secreting the right amount of the elastase, the pancreatic elastase, the enzymes to digest the food. So we're trying to figure out like why what happened, what's going on, what's causing this environmental change inside my body. And again, I was drinking, I was smoking previously, and I was eating a high-fat diet because unbeknownst to myself, I was on a ketogenic diet. I was on a keto diet. I'm not slamming the keto diet, but what the keto diet does kind of shocks your body into thinking that it's not getting what it needs. So if you're not familiar with what a keto diet is, keto diet is it's a very, 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 very high-fat diet. So it's going to be a lot of nuts. It's going to be a lot of like egg yolks. It's going to be a lot of olive oil. They wouldn't frown upon it if you just wanted to have a tablespoon of olive oil as a snack, right? So high-fat diet, and you could have lean meats. They don't want you to have too much. They don't want you to have a whole lot of fiber on a keto diet. But basically, it's high fat. It's a high fat diet. And again, one of the three major things that causes a huge strain on your pancreas is fat consumption. And so when I went to the doctor, I go to, the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic, and there are terrible doctors on the face of the planet. Doesn't matter if your hospital is world-renowned or if it is not, and that is not the topic of today's episode. But I ended up seeing my doctor, and I said to my doctor, like, well, hey, I know my numbers are lower, but I also was on a keto diet. Is it possible? I would like for you to run the tests again. I had just quit drinking alcohol entirely. I had just quit smoking cigarettes, and I didn't know at the time that those two things were really hard on the pancreas. But I knew that I was in the middle of a cleanse, and I knew that I was in the middle of this keto diet, which after meeting with my doctor, I found out that the keto diet is terrible for your pancreas. So I said to the doctor, and I was really proud of myself for sticking up to myself, because a lot of people don't stick up to their doctors, right? And for good reason. Not a lot of people are educated about anything that's going on, inside or outside of their body. But I told my doctor, I said, hey, no offense to you. I'm sure you're a good doctor, and I will heed to your advice if I have to, but it is not your job to tell me to change my diet. It is your job to prescribe procedures and medications, one of which you just told me that I would have to be taking these medications for the rest of my life. So they would be essentially what any good drug dealer or drug pusher wants to do, is make you a lifelong customer, right? And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but that is just a fact. Anybody, even if you sell tires, you want to give such good customer service that you have a customer for life, right? So, and a doctor is not going to be any different. A drug dealer is not going to be any different. Unless you're selling fentanyl, then you're probably not going to create a lifelong customer, right? So rest is really important. So I went to the doctor today, and I had the procedure. And just like when I was talking about, having the fear of missing out and the feeling of missing out, and like it's a bright sunny day and I'm looking at my feet and like everybody, I'm seeing people's feet and sandals, I'm seeing belly buttons and I'm seeing collarbones and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's such a nice day. And I'm having all this FOMO, and my friends are like the Cleveland Indians home openers last night. People are partying and patios are open and people are going and kicking it on patios and drinking beers and margaritas, and it's happy hour again. And I'm like, I want to go do that, but not drink. And, but I needed to rest, so my mom made the big trip out to see me and to pick me up from the hospital. It's an hour drive from where my mom lives to the particular Cleveland Clinic location that I had to go to. And so after the procedure, I woke up and I was like, see, if you've ever had anesthesia, you wake up and you're like, okay, when are we starting? And they're like, we're finished. I'm like, that's cool. Why am I here? And they're like, you just had a procedure done. I'm like, oh, okay. And so it was cool. So they picked me up, and my mom, drove out to the hospital, and we went for a really nice walk just in my neighborhood, nowhere crazy. And but the doctor told me to rest. And what I really wanted to do was, I was like, I gotta make an episode. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I was like, I know people want to watch this channel. They want to watch my channel and see what's next. And everybody's on the road to recovery. And I feel like I'm providing a service to you. And I'm grateful for those of you that stick around and listen to my really long stories and vibe well with this channel. And I really appreciate you. And I wanted to do that, but I was like, my body was just like saying rest. My body was saying lay down. You have to lay down. You have to rest. You have to rest. You have to be able to recharge if you want to recover. And that's something that we ignore all the time. We ignore a lot, especially, maybe you're one of these people. Maybe you were like me, and you get through a long shift, and at the beginning of the shift, you were hungover. And then you work through your whole shift, and you're just like, I don't care. Customer service is the last thing on my mind today. And you're just trying to get through the day, trying not to have anybody piss you off, and you're hoping not to piss anybody off, and you don't necessarily want the job, but you sort of need the job. And it would be, you wouldn't necessarily mind if anybody fired you, but it would be really inconvenient if you didn't have a paycheck for 2 weeks. If you've been in that mental state, comment below. You may have been one of those people that started your day hungover, and you get through the whole work day, And then you're just looking at the clock and it's like 2 o'clock and you know you get off at 4 o'clock and you're just like, oh, it's 3 o'clock. And then you look at the clock again and it's 3:02 and you're like, oh my God. And then you look at the clock again and it's 3 o'clock and you're like, how did I lose 2 minutes? You're just trying to get to 4 o'clock. And then you have all your stuff on. It's like 3:57. You've already signed out of your computer and you're ready to go. I've never had a job where I have to sign out my computer, but you're ready to go. You already have your stuff on. And then all you want to do is beeline and punch out and then go straight to happy hour. And because you're already feeling good again, because you're like, I rested during my shift. At least I recovered during my shift, and now I'm ready to party again, and I'm ready to go back out, and I'm ready to do it all over again, and that's something that happens to us. You're talking to your coworkers, coworkers want to go out, or it's a nice day, happens to be a day like today in early April, and it's the nicest possible day that it could be. It's 75, I think it's 78 right now. It's 78, the sun's out, it's amazing, there's not a breeze, it's a fantastic day, AKA a perfect day. And you feel the temptation of going out and going and getting shit-faced again. And then having to start again all over again today or tomorrow, hungover, trying to get back through the day, wondering do I really need this job? I could just get another job and I just have how about I just have a 4-day weekend, just having those kind of, I'll call CVS and tell them I have pink eye. But alcohol tends to do things like that to us. It makes us think about like quitting our job and having a 4-day weekend, or just quitting or getting fired and having a week off, and it keeps us from doing things that we need to do, like just getting rest so that we can think clearly and think logically, so that we can recharge and get back in the spirits that we need to get into so that we can do a good job regardless of whatever we do. And that was important for me to like today's episode, was that even though I wanted to do this episode earlier so that I can stay on track and get an episode out by the time some of you are hitting happy hour on the East Coast, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it. I knew I would be able. I could have just turned the camera on and not have taken a shower. I wasn't able to go to the gym today. I wasn't able to stick to my formula and my recipe for success. But I knew that if I went into this without the rest that I needed, without recharging my batteries, and without recovering from that particular anesthesia that I had taken, I wasn't going to be able to put out a good product. I wasn't going to be able to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be. And for those of you that are still stuck in the daily loop of rest at night, trying to rest and recover from your night of drinking and recharging and all that stuff, it's not necessarily the daily loop that I'm talking about. I'm talking about trying to be mindful of what you need in your recovery process. So like for a lot of you that are in your day 2 or your day 3 or 4 or week 1, it's still very, very, very important that you be mindful of what does your body need. You have to recharge your batteries. Those days that like you feel like, oh, everybody's gonna be there, I wanna go, it sounds like a really good time, and your body's just like, please no, please don't go. Oh, please, we have not recovered yet. We hurt. We are hurting financially from all the times you've been going out. We're hurting physically, we're hurting mentally, we're hurting spiritually, we're hurting emotionally. The big 5, I always talk about that. It'll be a future episode. But your body's telling you like, no, don't go out. And then your heart's saying like, let's go do it. And your brain's like, no, please don't. And your wallet's like, no, don't. And like the responsible part of you, like the little angel on your shoulder is like, yeah, dude, it's like, chill out, don't go. There will be more days. And little devils on your shoulder is just saying like, just go out. There will be more days and we'll party on those days too. So do your best to recharge and be mindful. Like when you need to rest, like I'm a huge advocate of nap. Like if you have to nap your way through recovery, if you have to take 3 naps a day, I don't care what you have to do to keep yourself from drinking. If that's your go-to mode, guess what? Your body needs it. You need to take a nap. Are you gonna probably mess up your sleep cycle and be up all night and then think yourself like, oh, if I just have a drink, you might also be sabotaging your nighttime sleeping. But chances are, if you've been drinking for a decade, you've put enough poison in your body that your liver and that your kidneys, that your lungs, your heart, your brain, all your internal organs are all taxed, all the way from the inside all the way to the largest organ, your skin. I mean, I'm sure you look older than you need to look. Your insides probably feel older than you need to feel, and you definitely need rest. So do yourself the service of getting the rest and recharging your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, your finances, and recover the way that you intend to. It's just baby steps. Just get through today. And if, like I said, if you have to nap your way through today, if you have to go to sleep early and you have to wake up late, do it. It is your journey and it is your road to recovery. So with that, I want to wish you good luck on your journey, and I will see you in the next video.